Hey, so how y'all doing, man? We back with another episode, man. With Keep It Real Real Estate, man. I'm Mr. Keep It Real, Leroy Thompson, man. I'm here with Jeffrey.
Hey, just excited to be here, man. Thank you for having me. Thank you for. I'm excited for what we're about to
No,
talk
hold
about.
on, Jeffrey.
Oh, Corriolan.
Okay, yeah. I ain't want to say the wrong name, man. I call him Corleone, so Jeffrey Corleone, but that's Mr. Jeffrey.
Corriolan.
That's right. Go ahead.
Just excited to be here, man, and I'm excited for the topic that we're going to talk about tonight.
Yeah, so I mean, me and Jeff, man, we had a nice little DM, man, about certain little topics, man. Today we definitely gonna talk about how is it to choose your real estate brokerage, man. Like what things you have to just identify with, man, when you actually picking a real estate brokerage.
I think that's a fantastic question, especially with where the market's going to be going right now. I think the market's going into a shift right now, Leroy. And what we really need to focus about is there a community? Is there a community? So what does that mean? That basically means that are they going to provide to you what you need? So is it training? Is it family? Is it accountability? Is it coaching? Is it mentorship? Is it maybe even leads? I think there's so much that comes into a brokerage that you decide to put your license with, and not just going with it because someone recommended or because you saw them on a newspaper.
Right. So I feel like with our brokerages, I'm not here to call names. Lifestyle is big to us, and I feel like we coming into a real twist in real estate, man, with all the influx of agents that we have, and you have to do different things, man. And so I feel like we tapped into that lifestyle energy where it just unmatched as of right now. But I do see how it's very tempting to pretty much fail at trying to be different. A lot of times people show it where they just doing too much, and it might tarnish your business. You know what I'm saying? So trying to be different too much is not always the best thing if you don't understand what you're doing. So I see the things that you guys have going on, man. Y'all have a lot of organization and events going on, man. And I feel like that is a big step, man, for anybody who's, choosing a real estate brokerage, because they need to be put in areas where, they're going to build relationships and have the chance to get off the ground faster than most brand new realtors.
I think right now what people are looking for, they're looking for results. With the market shifting right now, people don't know what to do. I spoke about this at another brokerage that I was excited to show them how to truly pivot in this market right now just last night. And what I told them is that you got to be able to understand, where do you identify yourself? Do I identify myself as a buyer's agent? Do I identify myself as a listing agent? And also, should I be learning about foreclosures and short sales right now with where the market's going? So truly getting with a company that understands that. Unfortunately, I was listening to the young lady yesterday, and she said she was with this particular brokerage before, and she was going to go after a listing that happened to be over $700,000. And her broker says, hey, you're brand new. You don't know what you're doing. You should not focus on that. You need to focus on something else. But only to hear that, that's not the first time I heard that. There's another young lady that joined my team earlier this year, and she said, hey, I'm interested in doing commercial real estate. And the brokerage that she was with said, hey, you don't know commercial. You need to give all the deals to this person. You need to just focus on residential. At the end of the day, I believe us being licensed in the state of Florida, or whatever state you're licensed in, you have to be able to work all spectrums. So if it's land you want to work, if it's commercial that you want to work, if it's luxury, residential, first-time home buyers, VAs, you should be able to work with that on the license that you have.
Right. So I mean, let's take it to a little further, right? Me and you, we're in two different real estate brokerages.
Yes, we are.
I feel like both brokerages are very, very powerful in their own entities, right? How important is it to build relationships, whether it's with inside your brokerage or outside your brokerage? I'm more focused now on building relationships outside the brokerage, because the relationship outside the brokerage, man, like we run into each other all the time. You may have a listing that you didn't give my buyer the contract, man, which I so we may run into each other, and I mean, you tried your best to get my buyer accepted on that contract, man, and I appreciate that. But unfortunately, sometimes relationships just not the best interest for us. That was a iPhone 13. Nobody be alarmed about that phone, because he's gonna get the 14 soon. So
after today, we definitely gonna get a new phone.
So I mean, just having relationships is not always going to get your customers the deal, because we're always in the best interest for our clients, right? So just having relationships outside of the brokerage, man, how has that progressed your mindset and your thought process?
I've always believed that it's not about building just relationships with the lender or the title company. I think it's building relationships with the other realtors out there. So when you're selling yourself as a professional, you got to sell yourself to the other realtors out there, because at the end of the day, if it's an agent that I've worked with before, as I carry multiple listings for many years, if it's someone that I've worked with before, or I understand their character, or I know the company that they're coming from, I'm going to automatically say, hey, this is the person that I should probably work with. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to push their offer forward because I understand what I'm working with. One of the things that sellers do not like is that they've already set themselves up to relocate. They've already picked out their new home. They've already started packing the house up, and then to hear 30, 45 days later that the contract has to fall through because of lack of education that other realtor has. So honestly, all jokes aside, I always, and I'm going to say this on camera, I always put the offer of the person that I know on top, and I advocate that to my seller and say, hey, I have a personal relationship with this person, and that really matters, especially when you're dealing with all types of markets. Let's talk about the market that we're in right now, which is very important because of the interest rates and the interest rates that are changing daily, but also the 2020 market. Who was the buyer that was able to put money on top of the appraisal? Who was the buyer that was willing to get the lowest inspection period or even waive the inspection period? I believe relationships always matter, and I think you're going to go further with the relationship that you build in this industry. So that's why I've always been the professional to say, hey, regardless of whatever brokerage you're with, regardless of whatever, could be going on, it's truly about the relationship that you and I have built, and the relationships that I'll continue to build with the real estate professionals that are out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I asked you on because I do recognize and see all of the business that you're doing out there. Personally, you have filled my mailbox with your flyers and things like that, and I have actually copied some of Jeffrey's flyers that came to my home.
Just to hear that.
Yeah, I copied it all the way. I changed the colors up a little bit. But yeah, same thing.
Rinse and repeat, man. That's what it's truly all about. I think at the end of the day, we all take a little bit from someone and we make it our own.
Yeah, plagiarism. Yeah, man. So we could go on to the next topic, man, because we don't want to run out of iPhone 12 memory.
There you go.
So my thing is organizations outside of your day-to-day already business, and I include family time, your own personal time, and your business time as all business time, right? So when you have other ventures of organizations that's reaching out to you to actually be a part of their boards and things like that, how do you find time outside of your daily business to join these things? Because one company I want to bring them up is NARAB. I read up on them. I understand what they're doing. I like what they're doing. It's just I personally don't have the time to fit in on the board or help out in any type of way that I can because of my day-to-day activities.
Mm-hmm.
I reached out to one of the guys that reached out to me, Mike Molina, about joining the board, and I gave him my take on it, man. My passion is helping youth.
Yes.
So I was a youth football coach for a total of 12 years. I had to walk away from it because personally I feel like I didn't have time to be an actual a savior for the kids. Once I got deep into real estate, my time was cut down short. We have to be to practice at 6 o'clock. A lot of customers get off work at 5. So you're showing home, so you're barely making it to practice, but you have these kids running around calling you coach. So I felt like I was doing them a disservice. So I stepped back. I do some sponsorships every now and then. But if I had any extra time, I definitely would go back into my passion in coaching Little League football. So where do companies like or businesses like NARAB or even the board of realtors fit into my life? And I can't really see it.
Hey, I think that's definitely value, because I think with everything that we do in life, there's a pro and there's a con for everything. But I want to take back to what my good friend earlier today, Claudia Hibbert-Smith, stated, which she took from Stormy Wellington. And she said there's something that's called the win formula, Leroy. It's what's important right now. So for myself, in 2016, I decided to join the Miami Realtors organization. And then from there, I went to Florida Realtors. And then in 2018, I joined NARAB, ended up being elected on the floor as the vice president and taking on the organization and being the president the following year. Led an amazing year, even through COVID. And what I understood, though, right now as I move into the 2020 market, I got to say what's important now to me, which is my team and my growth. So I'm actually understanding exactly what you're saying right now, because I'm scaling back. And I'm saying, hey, as the market starts to change once again, I got to focus on this stuff and I got to focus on my team. But one thing that I could definitely say is that you got to say, man, where do I see myself as an individual? Just like, what market area am I going to work? Where do I see myself as an individual? And is being a part of these organizations going to help me or help my company or help my brand get there? And if it's not, then you have to decide. Going back to NARAB, I think they're a phenomenal organization. I think NARAB has definitely done a lot of stuff for Black homeowners, Black realtors out there. But at the end of the day, you got to say, man, if I'm not able to truly give 110%, I got to understand to say no, and the reason I'm actually deciding to scale back is because I'm noticing that as I focus on my team and my business and where we're going with the brokerage that I'm with, I got to focus on that. So I got to be able to move back on the organizations that I'm a part of. And that's very, very important. Sometimes people like to sit in seats forever, and they don't understand when it's time to give it up and let new leaders come and lead. And that's one major thing about leaders. Leaders create new leaders, man.
Oh, definitely. And you said when they don't know when determined to give it up. So, I'm just going to ask this question. If you said that, what does retirement look for you?
Oh, that's a phenomenal question.
Yeah, what did it look like?
That's a phenomenal question. I've always stated, and I'm excited to say that everything is falling into piece exactly the way I want it to be, and not even knowing it. About 6 years ago, I said at the age of 40, I no longer want to be in real estate, but not really as far as real estate, but I mean as far as like traditional real estate. I want to be able to do other stuff. And then just like that, things started to just align, that's having me go right into where my vision is. So what I'm doing every single day is preparing myself for a retirement plan, and it really comes back to just about 5, 6, 7 years ago. A great friend of mine said, Jeff, what's your 5-year plan? And I never really knew what it was, Leroy. And then at that time, in that moment, I said, man, I got to strategize. I got to go back to the board and I got to strategize. What is my 5? What is my 10? And what is my 20-year plan?
Okay. And then I did notice, I think as of early this year or last year, you did start other business, other things. It's like, how do you do this? Because I can't, I'm so focused and determined to keep the real estate moving forward. Like, how do you have time or find time to even market something different from what you're doing? Like,
I actually got my hands on a lot of stuff that I don't even showcase. Some stuff I do showcase to grow it, and other stuff that I don't. But I think it comes with understanding when to delegate, number one. Number two, understanding time management. And number three, understanding, does this all align? So if everything all falls into alignment with what you're looking to do, maybe it's real estate, and out of real estate, you want to get you some investment properties, and out of real estate, you want to get you some Airbnbs, and out of real estate, you want to open maybe an investment firm. That all aligns. So if it all aligns and it makes sense and it provides opportunities for other people, it provides jobs for other people as well, it definitely makes sense. For me, I found, and a lot of times I find that people come to me about ventures. And if it makes sense, I'm all in. At the end of the day, I think we need money. We need money. It's the one thing, Leroy, that a lot of people don't want to talk about, but money makes a lot of things go round, and for example, I need the money right now so I can go get me a 14. My phone seems to be the oldest phone in this building right now. So we need money at the end of the day, and we got to understand that when we start to say that and we start to affirm it, we start going into action and making it happen.
Okay, man, I appreciate it, man. So we're going to wrap this up, man, and I appreciate you coming. This is Mr. Keep It Real Real Estate, and we like to keep it real on all levels, man. Like, I see what you're doing, I like what you're doing, man, and I kind of mimic a lot, not just from your flyers, just how you grow your team and everything like that, man. That. Just one more question, man. When you coming to come for me?
Hey, listen, I'm excited you said that, because I love what you guys are doing. I'm always about Black excellence. Spoke at another brokerage just yesterday, like I said. So I'm truly about Black excellence. And as I walked into this room today, I'm excited to see what you're doing. I'm excited to see that we're here late at night and the agents are here being productive. So it gives me an opportunity to say, man, how do I scale? How do I get to the next level? So just excited for where you guys are and where you guys are going.
Yeah, man. Same here, man. So appreciate having me.
Amazing.
Anytime.
Awesome.
Yeah.